All right, we're here. Catan Community Open number 20, Grand Finals. Here we are with Lawnmow on black, Anton on blue, Alora on orange, and Suphip on red. Yes, we were supposed to have Dylighted co-commentate, and unfortunately he is still busy in a game of his own. He is competing right now, so I'm going to do my best Dylighted impressions here. Anyways, Lawnmow here is going to be looking for positions on the board. 8-4 on ore here, 3-9-5s. Pretty decent wheat on this game. Sheep here, 6-11-10s. Let's see where we're at for brick. 5 probably the best brick with the 10 there. Maybe a 8-10-3 looking for a wood port. Wood not the best port on this one. So 9-4-11 starts to look fairly attractive here. 10-9-5, but not guaranteed to get onto these 4 ores. Oh, Sorian.
Too, so it shouldn't be too hard to do an impression. P.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Sorian. Welcome to the flock. Upgrading to the red fluffy. Appreciate it. Let's drop some fluffies in chat for everybody here. Now, what would Dylighted say here? This video today is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. This video is not sponsored, by the way. 10-9-5, building out to the 3-1 port. We've got 6-4-3 here, kind of interesting too. You know, you can kind of get out to the 3-1. You know, what the Flux stopping in here too. What the Flux playing in the tournament as well. Good luck in your games. Looks like you're playing. I think you made top 50 though. Top 50 was still pretty good in this tournament. A whole bunch of people with 2 wins, and really to get into the top 16 this tournament was 2 wins, 28 points. So you had to play near perfect to even get to the semifinals, and of course win your finals to get there. Anton, we followed their semifinal game, extremely strong. Maybe looking for a 6-4-3 position here. Decent ore, decent sheep. Only a tiny bit of wheat there. I'm not sure they'll look for that. 3-4-5 kind of interesting too, to be able to build out onto the extra 8 or 3-1. As long as you get some wheat on the way back, you know, worst case scenario, you're looking at a 9-10 here. Possible something like that for Anton. 8-10-3 still good. 8-4-3 still okay as well. Potentially looking at an ore port type strategy, doubling up on the 4s. Maybe even looking for that 8 ore to get that extra ore on the board for themselves. Best production on the board right now. What are we looking at? 8 points, 10 points here. Yeah, best production, 10 points here. 10 points on the 6-4-3 as well. And when I say points of production, we're looking at these little dots. 6s and 8s have 5 dots. You see the 4 has 3. You see the 3 has 2. And you add up all those dots together, and that makes up your probability here. So 8-4-3 building out to the 8-4, a great expansion settle spot there when you get 8 points of extra production. And potentially still build out onto the 4-11. So 8-10, you at least have the option to build roads here, knowing that, well, maybe largest army and dev cards might not be too easy to come by in this game. I think the one who might be easiest might be Suphip here. They're guaranteed maybe something like the 9, at worst case maybe this 9-3-11. Alora here on orange, probably my surprise player in the finals here. Very strong table, and they made their way here, so a very strong player here for Alora. We've got some Team Hippos in chat. Try Nice Games in here as well. GG's making the top 100. Let's see what the play is here. You know, Brickport, not the best. The 4-5-11 has to be entertained, or the 3-4-5, purely because of the potential to start off with a road. So maybe we're looking at 6-4-3, 3-4-5, just to be able to build out here. And you start with wheat or wood, sheep, a little bit of everything. No, it's the 9-10, which means that the wheat was important, and you get that extra sheep. They do point down, maybe for the sheep port. I think it's got to be an ore spot here, maybe the 9-4-11, but you know, 3-4-5 building out, you get your double ore here. Feels like the play. Now, is it possible someone might set down on the 8-3-3-1 port? Maybe Lawnmow. You know, if Lawnmow really wants that 8-3-1, and build their way back out to some sheep. Seems like a really tough setup for Lawnmow though, so kind of unlikely. You know, if anything, okay, so let's place it out. That's gonna be the next one. We've got Anton coming back around looking for sheep and ore. You know, pretty happy with a 6-4-11 in terms of production. And they get to make their way out to a wheat port as well. Okay, so let's place out 6-4-11, maybe the 3-4-5. It goes back to Lawnmow, who wants some of this ore here. Maybe the 9-4-11. I'm not sure if 6-4-2 is good enough for them. It is going to be the 3-4-5. Alora sets it down with the starting road. Points down, 3-1 port. I wonder about the 9-10 to start here. Maybe really valuing the sheep and the wheat? Maybe. I think blue should have pointed upwards for the tree port. You think the point up towards the 3-1 and the wood port? I think that is a strong play, especially given the 8 wood here. I think they weren't expecting to get any of this extra ore on the way back. I think they had assumed that this might have been somewhere else, and they might not have gotten that ore. So they're not committed to taking ore right here. They can. They absolutely can if they want to. I don't think they're committed to it. They don't have to do it. In fact, I even think that 6-4-11 in terms of production might be good for them. But the resource pairings are a little bit off with the 6-4-11. You know, they're going to get to the 4 ore eventually. They might want to make sure that they just diversify so that they can't be blocked on that 4 ore. You know, having a piece of both 4 ores might be it. They don't get any starting roads to speak of. 6-3-11, not great. You know, a lot of people look at this with a 9 points of production. 9 points of production here. Really, this is probably your next biggest production with the 8 and the 6. Chances are you're going to get a 3-1 port here, or a couple of these 2-1s. You might even have all the ports here. You might be the harbor master. They go 6-4-3. They start with the card, so they're gonna double up this way. Start off with the extra ore instead, and they're gonna go in on these 3 wheats. Anton really loves this ore wheat sheep style here, but it is a pretty big hybrid here with the 8-10. So first build most likely gonna be, well, I don't know. Is the first build gonna be the 4-11 or the 4-8? Best production, but no port. So now it almost seems like the 4-11 has to be your first expansion, just to make sure that you get that ore port and double up on the 4 for Anton. Meanwhile, for Lawnmow, fairly open here. 9-4-11, 6-4-2, a couple of the best spots for production. The 6-4 certainly looks attractive, especially with the brick double up sheep. You've already got the wheat this way here and the ore. 6-4-2, not too bad. I know the 2 doesn't look fantastic, but how many points of production are you on here? 5, 3, and 1. That makes 9 here. And over on the 9-4-11, pretty much the same. 9 points either way. Anywhere else on the board, you know, 3-9-11, you overproduce wheat without a wheat port. Feels like a 6-4-2 right now. Sup hip momentarily disconnects. 6-4-2, I'm pretty sure the brick port is maybe their best play. You know, they'll city this up, and they're good to go. Eventually pointing down here is a possibility, but, you know, that's not highly desirable. You don't understand Orange's setup? I think the 9-10 was kind of an interesting spot. I would have taken a little bit more production than that as well, maybe even that 6-4-3. Yeah, it's not like the sheep port is highly desirable here. Neither is the 3-1 on that sheep port. 8-3 to plow Orange. Wow, I don't think Orange is, you know, a massive threat or anything. Lawnmow goes with the 9-4-11. Points to the other brick here. Points to the 11-5. Interesting spot on the side here, and let's see why. Sup hip, were they trying to block them out of the wheat? I think that was the play here. I think they're trying to block out Sup hip from the wheat. We were looking at the 6-4-2, but if you go back around and you look at Sup hip, who had brick, sheep, and ore, they were looking for wheat and they were looking for wood. So I think Lawnmow sets down a denial settlement. Still good for them. They're going to start off with a rare wood for themselves. They get some extra ore. They deny themselves of sheep. but at least Suphip won't have an extremely strong position. And Suphip going back and forth with these connection issues. What is going on? Alora, Suphip, disconnecting and reconnecting. Hopefully we get them all back into the game right here. And now what's the wheat play? What is the wheat play? We've only got a 5-2. We've got nothing on the 3-9. We've got a 9-12. We've got a straight up 9 with the sheep port. None of the wheat looks particularly good for Suphip anymore. And as Dylighted would say, I think Lawnmow just boned him. That 9 wheat. Maybe this is the winning settlement. Now I don't know how much that advances Lawnmow's game, because again, we're doubled up on the wheat, doubled up on the wheat here once. Oh, it is the 5. You know what? Let's start it off. Let's start it off right. They plowed the 9-4-11 spot. You know, they kind of set it down as their own. Suphip with the 5-2 3-1 start comes right back and sets it down. 5-2 in the northeast. We've got ourselves a game here. Suphip pointing down onto the 6-2. They will get a lot of sheep here, which will hopefully be ported out 3-1 for a few more dev cards here. Now we have started the game and it is just a single 9 that has rolled after that, but Lawnmow, you can see production already at 8 cards with those 9s rolling. And another 8 comes out. That's going to be ore, so watch out for Suphip, who's probably going to start buying dev cards first rather than sitting up, making sure that they can actually keep these opened up. But a fast city is almost necessary for Suphip. 10 rolling out. That's going to be double brick, double sheep onto the board. Everybody wins on a 10. But let's see where it goes from there. Lawnmow, you know, getting those 9s. They're going to have to trade out some of that wheat, I think. I think they're going to need to trade out with some other folks. Yeah, Suphip does go for that early development card, but a 7 for Lawnmow here. And unfortunately, they're going to start the game by 7ing themselves out. 4 wheat. That's 1 of anything. That old bank trade there. Now, of course, this road is no longer good, so first settlement, does it have to be on this 11-5 desert? It might be. That's the fastest way to get some production, but they may have to come back only for a wood port here. Really tough spot for Lawnmow, I think, to come back into this game, and what was probably one of the strongest spots now gets weakened because of this 5-2 placement from Suphip, and it's going to be a road down this way to the 6-4-2 is what it looks like here. 6-4-2 for Lawnmow. Anton, meanwhile, free in the northwest. 8-4 settlement, 4-11 settlement. Maybe building back to the wood port if they're uncontested. And that might actually be the play, is to build here to start with that extra production. Forget this, because forget the ore port. We'll come back to that. We're going to double up on the 8 and race towards the wood port so that Lawnmow doesn't have a shot to come back here. Settlement gets dropped for Alora, who's sneaking in there. You know, Desert 9-10. That 3-4-5 was a strong spot, especially since we get that double ore. Needed that 9 wheat. And Alora, I think, maybe somebody who finds themselves with a city on the 5-4-3 fairly early on. And if you're asking me if this city means a potential plow back, I mean, Lawnmow's got another road and a settle to go before they get there. And this would be a massive plow because this blocks out a Suphip 6-2 expansion, which means Suphip might have to point themselves to this 3-1. Not that the 3-1's very good, but maybe, I don't know, maybe they do just build around this 8 ore. Maybe they ignore this. Huge situation up here in the corner. What a situation. That's 6-4-2. Let's take a look at that. Suphip and Lawnmow going head to head. Now, is there any history here? Because they are going hard at each other's positions. You know, I guess Lawnmow initiated by taking the 9-4-11 to deny Suphip. Suphip comes back, takes the 5-2. Lawnmow builds out and says, I'm gonna replow that. Oh boy. Anton here, 3 resources. Not enough to settle just yet. But like I said, I think it's going to be a double settle on the 8 into a wood port on the 10 brick. That'll make up for brick production. That'll make up for wood production. Good enough for longest road. It'll even build them out to this 4 ore and get themselves their cities. Probably a city on something like the, well, maybe the 8-10-3. Not sure. A 1-2 trade here. Anton goes wood for double brick with Suphip. And Sup needs those. Sup needs those woods. They're only on the 2 wood. And lots of trading now as a brick for wheat goes out there. Suphip making all the trades involved. Very involved right now. But what is it? 7 resources. Enough for the road settle? That'll push Lawnmow all the way out to a 6-3 and so many roads here. It could have just been 1 road and out or 1-2 roads back out this way. Where's Suphip going to go with this? My feeling is they don't even care about this 3-1 port. It's going to be a 2-1 with Anton again. Oh no. Get Lawnmow out of there. Another plow. Lawnmow has no shot at it. The 6-4-2 apparently was too strong for the table. I think Suphip said, guys, look, I'm on a 2. I'm on a 5-2 out on the coast. I've got nothing. You want me to get this. You don't want Lawnmow to get this. But you know what? Lawnmow's not in. Even if Lawnmow gets this, I think they've got a city up, but they have no ports. This is going to put Lawnmow's game very far behind. So that means Anton and Alora, they're going to be my favorites for now. And I think as soon as Alora sneaks up this city, that's going to be a big deal here. But Anton, great setup. Again, the 8-8, the wood port, the 4 ore. We'll just see. I do like Alora's ore better though. The 4, the 8. The biggest block is probably going to be this. Anton! Are you kidding? 1 dev card bought. Huge value. The year of plenty. And guess what they take? It's 2 sheep. 2 sheep for the year of plenty. Nikolai says the real winner from that plow is Anton. You know what? When 2 players are racing to plow each other, the other 2 players are always the winners. Always. Anton buying double devs with the year plenty. So 1 dev card turns into 2. Anton is a magician. He's also a scientist for being able to clone those 2 sheep into 2 dev cards. 9 rolling out, 5 after that. No one willing to trade ore to Alora here, even after a 2-1 offer. The 5 afterwards, still no ore there for Alora, who I believe is fairly close. 4 are rolling out. That's going to be ore for the table, and that might be enough for Alora. It does put Alora over 8 though, over 7. So 2 more rolls before it gets back to them. Lawnmow 4-1 holds an ore there for themselves. Double wheat. They can trade away wheat all day. And Lawnmow here probably pivoting to a big city here. Alora survives. No 7s. Are we going to see that city come down right away? It's going to be the 9-10 city first. But double sheep right away. They are rewarded with the 9-10 instead. Looking for production now. Is this the right city? This is 7 points of production out here versus, what is this? 9 points of production out here. And Suphip actually goes for the other 3-1, blocking out Alora. So interesting. Absolutely, Anton had enough to build a city. Anton had enough to build a city. They year of plenied for 2 sheep, which means they had 2 ore and 2 wheat already. That was a decision for sure. We get a 4-1 here for Lawnmow again, who's banking up that ore. No one's looking at Lawnmow now. Lawnmow's game, I mean, you gotta be watching out for Alora, who's on 11 resources now. Allura on 11. Now, what will happen or what should happen? Wow. What a start for Anton, who ended up buying a second Year of Plenty, this time 2 ore. And he gets city down. Now it's the 8-10-3 city. Now you can all settle. The chat was going a little bit wild with that Year of Plenty play. Anton gets a second chance on the Year of Plenty. Allura, though, 12 resources. I think now Anton feels good about that, because if Anton had citied up first, there were no other cities on the board, Anton would have been a big target. I don't think Anton wanted to get out that fast, but buying a second development card and getting the second Year of Plenty, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Allura here points out to the Sheepport here as Suphip forces Allura out. You know, if Suphip had come back this way, I think Allura would have taken that, because that would have secured the Sheepport here, or at least extra sheep to go with it. Now, that would have just been extra nice sheep. This is still a good setup. 10 sheep with the Sheepport already citied up. That's double the production every time that 10 rolls. One of everything. So let's see, the 12. Yeah, city comes down. Lawnmow been saving up for that one. Lawnmow been saving up 2-1s, 4-1s. Had to make that happen here. And still trying to stretch it out. Maybe looking back towards the wood port. Not the best port ever, but even that 6-3, I'm not sure how good the 6-3 helps them out. It might help them out with a few more development cards, but that's 2 more roads away. And that feels too slow. A little bit too slow of a crawl, if you ask me. And again, still the plow potential here. I don't know if my heart could handle being plowed 3 times in a single game either. There's so many plow potentials here. So many plow potentials. Allura. Don't do it, Allura. I know what you're thinking about it. If anything, I feel like Allura could build up to this 6-12 if they could stretch, maybe even the 6-11. I know that's still a bit of a stretch because it's only 1 road and settle away for Anton here. Oh no. Oh no. Ouch, Lawnmow. Ouch. Lawnmow gets plowed again. But I see why. I see why. You know, Lawnmow, don't take it personally. It's not you. Allura wants the settlement and the longest road. It's a good play. You know, Allura's so close. Settlement, longest road. Oh, that feels bad though, Lawnmow. Lawnmow is, yeah, not like this for Lawnmow. I guess Lawnmow has no choice. They gotta go for the woodport. Maybe they just keep going. Maybe they just go all the way to the north here. If anything, that'll maybe push Anton down towards the south a little bit. Suphip drops a quick road, trying to settle up on the 8 there. 10 rolling out afterwards. Lawnmow, 8 cards. What's the pivot? What's the backup plan? What's the backup plan? Oh, Lawnmow's committed. Lawnmow is committed. Longest road out to the 6-3. Said I was going there anyway. We're going to get there. Eastern side of the island, the 6-3 will be a thing. Let me think about this. Is this just straight Brickport? Honestly, 6-3 does add some wood. If the wood is, you know, your play here. You do have options for Woodport here, but I think Brick might be better. You get immediate access to, I don't know, maybe it is 6-3. Maybe you just need all the production you can get and all the cards that you can get. Can you really afford to wait for another road and another setup? Wow, the 2 great for Suphip there. They get some rare wood, which is really going to help them out with the settlement on the 8 ore. If Lawnmow settles here, they build back and settle there. They'll have the 3 and the 11, and then maybe go for the 8. Yeah, I think it's too much to stretch for the Brickport. I don't think that'd be the play for Lawnmow here. I think if anything, if Lawnmow could city up again, that would be ideal. Try to race for that second city. I don't think even with 2 cities, I don't think I would be targeting lawn mode too much. I don't think they're in the best position. Certainly longest road is possible here, but you got to feel like Alora is going to sneak it in. 4-1. They get the settlement down. It's going to be that 4 and the 888s. See, I thought blocking out the wood port was a big deal, especially to combat Anton here, who's in the best spot. But maybe they're thinking that Alora is in a really strong spot too and want to block this out. No real way to stop Alora unless Suphip decides to drop a couple of roads here. But we see 1 road coming down already. Suphip does have 2 wood in hand, but they're trying to trade out for ore. And it's going to be the settlement down onto the 8 ore. A 2 hits again! Wow. If Suphip ends up plowing, it's going to be a miracle. Lawnmow trying to go double wheat for wood and sheep. Needs the wood and sheep to settle. I'm not sure if anyone's going to be interested in that at this time. Anton says yes with the double wheats here, and that might actually put Anton close to another city. Well, it doesn't matter. Lawnmow makes back those 2 wheat immediately, having tripled up on that 9, but so does Alora. And Alora with a 3-1 port, seemingly in a better spot than Lawnmow on those 9s. Anton with 6 cards, 2 of them being wheat. Definitely a road settle would be fast and efficient, and every 4 would be triple ore. But I think the race is on for Woodport. Do they absolutely need Woodport? Absolutely not, because that's 2 roads to get there. And really this is 1 road settle and 1 road settle. 6, 11, 12. That's a whole bunch of points for Anton already. If they really want to go for longest road too, it's possible here. They could absolutely wrap around this way, but what's the most efficient way? Probably building something like this. So they're going to get a settlement here, they're going to get a settlement here. Those roads are all working towards longest road. It's going to be the 411 first. Try to get that ore port. Maybe they can port out some of these. 643 will be their next city. So they're going to have a little cluster of developments over there. The 11 rolls out for double wood. Pretty neat there for Lawnmow. Alora trying to go wheat for wood. They'll have to give something else. Lawnmow's on the same stuff. So yeah, 2-1 instead with that sheep port coming into play here. The settlement comes down. Plow fully complete here. Triple wood on the 8 wood. 8 ore still blocked out, and now Anton here starting to pull ahead. 3-1. Suphip buys a development card. 7. Nobody 7's out. It's going to be Lawnmow with control. And you see Lawnmow actually at 6 points right now. Same with Alora. But those 6 points are pretty fragile, especially when you're holding on to the bare minimum of longest road. So blocking out the 9 is nice. I might have even considered the 5 just to make sure that they couldn't get ahead here. But a 9 is one of anything. The 10 is one of anything. You know, the 5 still good. All of those still good. Anton here rolling the 7. They'll have to move it out again. And they might block Lawnmow. Lawnmow and Alora. So maybe the 4 ore, that might be the spot for them if they want to slow things down in terms of dev cards. No, it's the 6 sheep. So no dev cards either for Suphip, who is probably the biggest threat here. And just incidentally blocking Lawnmow too here. A few disconnection issues, but Suphip going to be the steal here as Suphip here. 1 dev card down, 1 knight played. You know Anton's going to be racing for that eventually, so better to start blocking them now, right? Anton 8 resources, probably not enough to settle if they're thinking about it for this long. Maybe have to look for another dev card here. Anton's already gotten 2 year of plenties out of it. At this rate, Anton's probably in the best spot to, you know, buy monos and road building. Just buy all the utility cards for Anton. 10 seconds left at 8 resources. I hope Anton... Is Anton gonna hold here? Diamond hands. Anton, they end up passing it. Let the dice decide. Alora No 7 yet. It's going to be an 8. They pass. They have 2 ore only. 6 after that, Anton with the sheep as the other 6 is rolled. And the 7 comes Anton. Didn't make it through the round. It had to happen. It had to happen. So many wood in there. So many wood after those 8s. And I think that's what Anton was saving for. A bunch of 4-to-1s. Not enough to get the settlement down. I don't think... They must have had something like, 3 wood. What was the other stuff? 3 wood, 3 wheat, something like that. Just not enough to trade it all out. Lawnmow here ends up with 9 cards now too. I think Anton's hand was stuck here, and we see it again at 8 resources again. Double ore. I think they're stuck on ore and wood for the most part here. Maybe a couple of sheep. Ore, wood, and sheep all together. They don't make a lot. We might actually see another hold. And I'm not sure if Anton wants to try and make any trades happen with other people. If anything, they might try to go for the wheat here. No, Anton actually does have the settlement this time around. They set that down, and the 10 rolls after that. Bricks on the board now. We had a couple sheep for Alora, but I think Alora's on 2 sheep, 2 ore. No, they end up using it. They've got a dev card out there. We've got Suphip now stuck on 5 settlements. Oh, Lawnmow. We missed it. Lawnmow gets 7'd out. Wood, brick, double wheat. That's huge for Lawnmow. All of those roads matter because I think the race to Woodport is real right now. The steal onto Anton, the 4 ore is a target now. They realize Anton's out. The double city comes down for Lawnmow. They saved up, they made it happen. Pure production, raw production now as Lawnmow has to hold on to road now. Alora still hasn't connected, and I'm not sure they will. I think Alora may be better served to play the long game here, get the 5th settlement down, and then come back to connect. If they've got time for it. At this point, I'm not sure Lawnmow is in any position to quickly end the game. So that may be the play here as you build out to the 6-12 and then come back and set it down there. Not really likely, that, there'll be 2 roads here to get a 6. Well, maybe. Maybe Anton could do it. I think Suphip needs to take army for sure. Anton here is looking for those dev cards. Alora plays a knight out, nothing out there, but blocks the 9 for production. Another 2. These woods are so good for Suphip now, and Suphip follows up with a 9 there as that 9's blocked. 3 wheat for Alora though. Suphip 9 resources. They absolutely need the city, but they still need these dev cards to get army too, and looks like they have neither. Sheep for wheat, sheep for ore. Double sheep for wheat even. Maybe trying to get a 2-to-1 here. No traders for Suphip, and yeah, it's going to be a 3-to-1 to the bank. A wood for wheat, and it's a single dev card. 8 rolling out here, triple wood. Anton, can we make anything happen after that? It's a 10 brick. Absolutely we can. That's 2 roads in hand. That's 2 roads in hand for Anton. Which way do they point? Do they connect now? I don't think so. Like I said, I think that race to the brickport is on. Maybe if they set down a 3rd road as a defense, if they can trade it out, maybe that defensive road is enough. Can Anton make 3 roads out of this happen? 1, 2. 1, 2 for sure. They've got an extra wood in there, so all they need to do is make a brick. Can they port the ore for the brick? Do they have 2 ore, or are they all sheep in hand? Anton thinking about it. The other option is just road settle, and you get it there. Anton pulling the knight out, looking for something. This is an aggressive knight to try and get something. See, the robber is not on them, so maybe some hand tracking here. Who's got what they need? What are they looking for? Another brick? Some wheat? It's going to be down onto the 10 to block out the sheep, the steal. Deciding who to steal from now. My feeling is Alora, whose 9s have been rolling fairly good here. if that's the wheat that they're looking for. Steal this from Suphip instead. 8. Maybe the ore? Maybe the wood? No, they don't need wood necessarily. But they definitely did steal from Suphip. Probably looking for the wheat or the sheep. That's going to be the road. We're looking for a second road. Anton using their time. Do we call this a plow? It wasn't like Lawnmow was looking for it. No, they pass. 6 cards left in hand. They only got 8 because the 10 rolled on the bricks there. And we've got a situation up there. Do they want Lawnmow to get this on their next turn? Do they want Lawnmow to get it on their next turn? Lawnmow's longest road is coming to an end. Lawnmow will have 2 more roads if they want it, and then 3 more here, and that'll do it. That'll be capped for sure. So max road of 10 here for Lawnmow. Alora trades 1-1 with Suphip, wheat for sheep, and then 4-1 to get the city down. 3, 4, 5. Alora finds themselves at 7. I think they will go ahead and connect fast here if they can. Suphip had to have gotten something out of that too, and yeah, they get a city for a city. 10 after that, blocked in the south, but up in the north, more bricks. Lawnmow, everyone has 0 cards. There's no way to plow, no way for the table to trade and make it happen. Lawnmow goes ahead and passes. 11 cards to Anton. You gotta think the settlement's coming down. The longest road possible. Largest army. 1 more dev card away. Anton might run away with this one. Suphip unable to get largest army quite yet unless they've got the 2 cards. But Suphip's been holding on to 1 for quite some time here. So at most they have 1 more night to play out. And no cards right now to buy more dev cards. Anton's looking like they're in great shape right now. 11 resources. Can they get the settlement down? If they don't get the settlement down, if Lawnmow holds all their cards, now the settlement goes down. You know what? We're calling it a plow anyway. I feel like we're all looking at it. Is that 4 plows on Lawnmow? Lawnmow's game. Blocked on every side. Lawnmow. I don't know what you did to these players. I don't know, you know, what happened in the preliminary rounds. It's on to learn now. It's gonna be Alora. Drops down the road, so intentions have been made clear. But rapid rolls now, 6, 9 after that. Tons of wheat. Lawnmow. I mean, there's nothing left to plow up top. What's the play? Another city? A whole bunch of dev cards? Is that it? 3 cities and dev cards? That seems like a really, really hard way to do it. I mean, you can temporarily hold on to road by building a few more here. Well, if actually they can build out this way here. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. So 12 will be their max. 12 will actually be their max, not 10. I think if they had built this way, that would have been it. But now they can actually build around for 12 and try to hold longest. Oh, they're coming out this way. Oh, that's a little scary too. That's a little scary too, but I guess they can connect back. Is that more efficient? Maybe. More efficient in the short term. The window, though, I guess closes a little bit. I'm not sure if they connect or not. But they do definitely have a lot of open space this way. I like it. Building into the corner there, they would have had another settlement spot. But building out this way, it's going to be a while before they get the next settlement for Lawnmow, and Lawnmow I think is just stretching it out. Anton goes 2-1 with Lawnmow for a trade. 2 sheep. Anton gets another dev card though. Curious about that trade. 7 is rolled out here. Nobody gets 7'd out but Alora. maintains control. And is it going to be Lawnmow or Anton? It's going to be both that get blocked out. 10 brick. I like that block. Elora, knowing that they're going to try and connect for longest road, they're going to shut down that brick. No brick for everybody else here. It's just going to be the 5, hopefully. And who cares if Suphip gets the brick? So I like that play there. Can they connect on this turn? And what's that turn to? Lawnmower right now at 7. Another road will make it 9. So even if Elora connects, it's only temporary. I think it's only temporary road, which was almost why I wanted that extra point. It is a much slower way, but I don't think Lawnmower was going to end it. And I think if anything, you let Lawnmower keep building out. And you know, they race as much as they can. Oh, but that 8 wood there for Anton. Suphip with the triple ore, trying to trade away some of that ore. I do like that from Suphip, trying to give away some of this 8 ore to make a few other things happen. Now, what's the other play that Suphip can do? They can settle out here. They can city it up. That's pretty much it for Suphip. I think Suphip, though, wants to buy these dev cards. Wow, 1 for 2. Suphip is going to go ahead and get those dev cards. No knights played, though. Still 3 cards in there. The 10, a beautiful block there. Looking good. It's going to be Lawnmower at 6 cards. Are they going to stretch this road, extend it, keep going? Do they connect immediately? What's the max here? 9, 10, 11, 12. No, I think they keep going. If they have 2 more, then they're past the Anton. And it looks like, you know, Elora's only going to be building around here. So, should be fine for Elora. Lawnmower with some decisions to make, though. Lawnmower trying to convince the table. 2 sheep for a brick? Maybe Suphip. Suphip might be the one who agrees to that if they hit with a 5. Arnaud saying Orange should build a road this turn, otherwise Anton can win it in his. Oh, that was from before. Another 8. More ore here, more wood here. Anton 6 resources now. Now we'll see what they're able to do. Are they going to hold on to that 1 dev card? They're at 2 knights. I think another dev wouldn't hurt. I think another dev card is what we're probably looking at. With the 2 to 1, every 8 is even a road 2 now. So the race for road becomes very scary. At least very easy. He either doesn't have the knight or doesn't want to play it yet. Even playing the knight gets him to 8. And then a huge target with no knights in hand. Possible. I'm not sure. I think they might wait until Suphip actually plays it. Or use it. Because Suphip will play it for sure. Right? If Suphip... Oh my goodness. I joked about it. Anton buying 2-year plenties. I said he had good odds to buy the mono. He makes it happen. Steals all the ore. Suphip had 3. Elora had 1 at least. This puts Anton at 14 resources. 643 looking for a city. There is no largest army though. That is the one upside. Suphip might be able to get the advantage here. But yeah, Anton realizes this, buys a dev card. If it's a knight, they'll build something here. If it's a knight, they'll play something else because they've got it on lock. If it's not a knight, you'll see him probably trade out again for another development card here. 4 to 1, or 2 to 1, 2 to 1, making 2 wheat. Looks like a city. 643. I think that's a decent mono there. You get a city and a development card, which hopefully locks up largest army. So army and road, is it possible right now? 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 roads and the knight. That's it. The 8 has to be blocked out for now. I think everyone understands. Elora here with a development card for themselves. 1 there, Sup. Can Suphip do anything? Suphip passes. Suphip has 3 cards, no knights, or doesn't want to move it now, I guess. But that means that no one's going to be contesting for army. So Lawnmower has to keep building roads. I think Lawnmower has to keep building roads. Elora has to take road. Someone needs to hold road. It has to be at 8. Did Allura not have enough? I think there was enough with the 3-to-1 port. Had to connect through. Maybe Allura didn't want to draw the attention. Maybe Allura's looking for like a city and the road connection for a fast win. Playing with fire though if you don't take it. Stealing from Allura. Is Lawnmow gonna move it back? No. No, they had to move it. They just had to move it, and it's gonna be Anton next. Really surprising there. You know, the 4 ore might have been a block too, especially with the ore port. You gotta think Anton's that close. I would say Anton's that close. Lawnmow, where are we going with this? Are we gonna get road? We have to have at least one more. I think Lawnmow wasn't getting the trades and they needed something more to build the roads with. So I think in this case, Lawnmow might even have to take the short route and just connect here. Because one road becomes 2 and then they go back and go through. Okay, they do bring it back. They put it back on there. Anton with the knight. 4 more resources in hand. Was that enough for 2 roads? They drop it onto the 10 sheep here. Steal. Very close for Anton here. 9 points. They might even be able to buy this victory. Knowing Anton's luck right now, you get 2 yops. You get the mono. You might as well just buy a development card and get the point for the win. Believe in the deck, Anton. This is the one. 4 resources. They might not have enough to buy a dev card, but if they do, wouldn't that be something? They steal from Allura. They roll another 7, so they get to steal another one. Wouldn't that be amazing if Sup has 3 VPs? Because we know Sup didn't play any knights, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Sup. Oh, Anton bought but didn't get the pull. No victory there just yet. Allura rolls a knight out. That's, of course, going to go back onto the 8, but really the 4 is not a bad block either. It's actually the 10 that stops it. Allura here now, going to roll it out, gets the 11. This has got to be road for Allura. I think Allura's got to take it here. But still, only on 6 resources. Can't win on this turn, even if Allura does take it. And this actually doesn't take it. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, it does. Lawnmow is at 7. I keep thinking this is going to be 8 here. We have to get somebody to 8. Allura passes again. Sup hip. The road stays as is. Lawnmow on 9 resources. Hits a 4. Oh, hits a 4. Anton hits a 4. Is that GG? That's got to be GG. Lawnmow, what can you do on this turn? Doesn't matter if you extend the road. Anton doesn't need the road anymore. Anton doesn't need the road anymore. 2 dev cards. Lawnmow tried to machine gun the win here. Anton, do they get 7'd out? They survive. The 5 rolls it out. 2-to-1 port on the ore. That's the city coming down. GG's, well played. Anton, 118, your winner, your grand champion. Catan Community, number 20. GG's, well played. Sup hip at 8, Allura 7, Lawnmow at 7. Didn't even need the longest road connection. It was just another city. Maybe blocking the 4. I think that was the play there. I don't know about the 10. The 10 doesn't really quite get you there. Let's see it though. That was only 2 points on Sup. So Sup had 1 more card in there, but yeah, that puts them at 8. They were actually fairly close. Fairly close there. Dice stats. We had a couple 2s that kept Sup in the game, but 5s were big. You know, 7s and 9s. Early 7s helped out Anton quite a bit, keeping their hexes uncovered there. 10s were massive there, especially for the roads. Anton completely unbothered in that northwest corner. Great dev cards too, by the way. Let's take a look at those dev cards. We had a couple VPs, the mono, the early mono, and the double year plenty. Those were all Antons. All Antons. Yo, Wookie coming through with the 5 cheers. Woo, Anton, thanks so much. Let's check out the activity here. What are we looking at? fairly decent trades. Allura tried to make a few trades there. I wonder if they could have, tried to, get a few more favorable trades there too. Blocks. Suphip ended up being blocked a ton early on, especially that 8 and that 5 here. And you see Anton here only truly getting 3 cards blocked out. And I think that was on the 8. So maybe only one roll where the robber actually made a difference there. Oh, Lawnmow getting 7'd out with no ports. That's what happens. You end up holding on to a bunch of cards. And I think at the same time here, Anton ended up holding at 8 cards at one point, and I think that was the difference there. Production, 62. Allura, great production. Lawnmow, great production, but no ports. And you see the difference. Anton with a 2-to-1, 2-2-to-1 ports. Being able to trade, and where is it? Minus 22 here, minus 19. Where's the trade value here? Resources gained by trading. 13 to 8 here, and you see a little bit of that difference. So a little bit more efficient. You also see 12 cards being gained by developments. That's the mono and 2-year plenties. So 2-year plenties get you 4 cards, 8 from the mono. That would do it for me too. Well, that's gonna do it for Catan Community Open number 20. Congratulations again for Anton. I'm gonna go ahead and say it here for YouTube. Do no harm, do good, do better.